Yes, this is Rahul Reddy on behalf of CL, and we are looking at a short set of do's and don'ts for how to crack the ZAT 2002, ZAT 2022 essay, right? And yes, you heard it right. The essay is back. Part B now contains 25 GK questions and one essay task to be completed in 25 minutes. Okay, so GK questions, do understand there are no negative marks for GK questions. Similarly, GK questions, the score is not included in the percentile calculation. So if there is any cutoff, the cutoff is expected to be very low. Okay, very important, therefore, that not to be over worried about GK. Second, in the actual exam, complete the GK questions as quickly as possible to ensure that you have enough time for the essay task. The essay task will be evaluated during the personal interview. It will be evaluated, when I say personal interview, it will be added to the stage 2 process course, in the sense that it will be evaluated only if you qualify for XLRI. So in that sense, it is similar to IIM W80, except that you write it early. It gets evaluated only if your score is good enough and if you qualify. Okay, so as I said, managing the time is critical. Do not spend more than 8 minutes for GK. 5 to 8 minutes, max of 8. No negative marks. So quickly eliminate, take quick guesses, and again, not evaluated for total percentile. So don't over worry about it. Then the remaining time, okay, is for the essay. While time is short, it is still important that you do spend a little bit of time on preparation before writing the actual essay. So I'm suggesting 3 to 5 minutes, absolute minimum of 3, and a maximum of 5 minutes for essay prep. What do you do in this 3 to 5 minutes of essay prep? Okay, understanding the topic and what is it significant, why it is important now. Then list key points and then write the conclusion. Let's take each one of them, right? What do I mean by understanding the topic, right? So it is very important to make sure that you are clear what the topic means, okay? And if the topic has a very broad scope, it is for you to sort of define the scope and say, look, I am considering the topic from, let's say, Indian point of view or in the context of XYZ, and then you narrow the scope. Remember, you are writing a 15-20 minute essay. So there is no way that you can take a topic, make it broad, and then do justice to it. So it is for your benefit that we narrow the scope as much as possible. Second part is to understand why it is significant now. In today's context, why does this particular topic matter? So understanding that will really help you on deciding what kind of an essay you will. Then list all the ideas that come to your mind. Okay, don't think too much whether the idea is good or bad, just list down, right? List down doesn't mean you write essays about it. List down means 2 words, 3 words on every idea that comes to mind. Okay, once you know what kind of ideas you're getting, decide the conclusion. It's very important that when you start the essay, I want you to have a clear idea as to what your end goal, so that the entire essay will be written with that end goal in mind, which is why it is very important that we decide the conclusion first. Okay, then the 12 to 15 minutes left, we actually write the topic. You introduce the topic. When you introduce the topic, you look at the first point on your preparation. What is your understanding of the topic? Just put it there. To me, this topic means it is important because, that's it. Then out of all the points listed, maximum 3 to 4 points you will explain, right? Take each key point, explain it, add an example if possible, add 1 or 2 supporting sentences, again max. So for each key point, average, let us say 3 sentences, then 3 to 4 key points, you get about 9 to 12 sentences. That is the main body. And then you write the conclusion. Conclusion has already been decided, then no issues at all. Okay, so easy in theory. How does it work in actual practice? Let's take one of the past ZAT topics and see how it works. right? Ethical practices and sustainability, do they coexist? So first, I'm looking at, okay, what is my understanding of the topic? So to me, I believe that the passage is asking, is it possible for a company to follow ethical practices and then still survive and be successful in today's world? So what are ethical practices? Are we talking about individuals? Are we talking about organizations? What does sustainability mean? So are we talking about short-term success, long-term success? Are you talking about being the most successful or being productive and having a happy life? So some understanding the topic. Then list the points. Why do people indulge in unethical practices? One, it is profit motive for individuals, organization. If they believe that they can get away with an unethical practice and get a benefit. Only two possible reasons why people do that. I will do an unethical task, A, because I get some benefit out of it. Two, I don't think I'll be caught. Or I think the probability of my getting caught is, which is regulation and penalties. Either I believe that the loopholes are there, either I believe that legal gray areas are there, or I believe that enforcement is weak. Third, what is transparency? Do people know that I am doing an unethical practice, or can I hide it from the world? This is an important factor, because if it is transparent, if the world knows that I'm indulging in unethical practice, then it gets more and more difficult for me to justify it. Second, there will also could be backlash. Second, what are the incentives? Are the incentives from the government side to be more ethical? Are they penalties? Because incentives or penalties are two sides of the same stick. Similarly, from do my customers want me to be ethical? Will they incentivize me for being ethical? Will they penalize me for being unethical? What other benefits can I get if I'm ethical? From the customers, we just discussed that. From employees, will my employees be more motivated if I'm ethical? Will my investors be more motivated, or will investors want to invest more and give me a better valuation if I am an ethical company? Then the conclusion. So the kind of points that I have got lead me to the conclusion that sustainability is not just an ethical choice, but it is the only long-term choice for people and organizations. That you cannot actually survive too long in today's world by being unethical. One, because customers, stakeholders will find out, and there is probably going to be a backlash. Writing the essay, introduction, ethics and sustainability. Main body, what is the motivation for unethical behavior? What are the short and long-term consequences? And what is the impact on stakeholders? I have selected 3 of the different points that I raised. Remember, I may get more than 3 points, but I don't have the time to do justice. And lastly, please do not submit an essay without having a conclusion in place. Reduce the main body, it's okay. Give lesser points, give only 2 points in the main body, okay. But make sure that the conclusion is there, because otherwise the essay will look incomplete. Okay, hopefully that has helped. Thank you very much. And do drop a message to me or an email or WhatsApp in case of any queries. All the best for the XAT exam. Do well.